Howdy, folks. I'm Max Caveman, and today I would like to discuss a bit of a difficult subject for me that's come up. Um, that is the future of this channel. Now, I do end up doing these videos every so often, simply because my mindset changes as time goes on. So, um, my opinion on what I should be doing changes. At the moment, a big thing that's been weighing on my mind is Not for Trade. Now, Not for Trade is a series that I've been running for a while now. I can't actually remember when I started it, but as a series, it is annoying me um, with a couple issues that I'm having. Most notably is the rate at which the folders can build up. And it's going very slowly. When I initially started the series, I thought maybe I'd get around 30 episodes or so before I started a new folder. Because the idea was to constantly do new folders and new series and try and change a couple things up. But that's not happening, so I've been stuck on the one folder for quite some time. Now, the big reason for that is the entry price for the folder. So I set, when I initially started, at $2. I thought $2 wasn't that bad. It's a decent price. So it means that a lot of the cards going in do have some value. Um, $2 is too much. Now I could go through and change it, but at which point do I change it, drop it to? Do I change it to $1.50? I'm not sure, because some of the cards, um, like if I go through like some stuff, certain Pokemon like Pikachu here will naturally have more value because they're more popular as Pokemon, and then their cards just generally have a little bit more price. Sometimes it could be the hyper playable stuff. Um, Sometimes cards that look like they should have value just don't have that much value at all. And in all honesty, if you want the expensive version of a poke or any of the low rarity cards, so that's the commons, uncommons, and rares, you have to get the reverse foil. So, like getting this Haunter, I don't know if you can really tell, but this is a reverse holo. But if I got this one, so ultimately this one has more value than this Haunter, simply because this has a foiling to it. And the reverse foilings tend to be a bit more expensive. So I've ended up coming up with a solution, and that is I am going to end Not for Trade with a double ETB opening of Temporal Forces, which in itself has issues that I do need to address, and um, that issue is product availability. Now, it's not really that much of an issue. I could just simply pre-order everything, and then I should just get them when they come in. That's fine. But I live in Western Australia, and we get product later. At the point now, we're getting the product from, or the most of the Temporal Forces stuff come out 2 weeks after the set releases. So a lot of the players in WA, Western Australia, they are trying to buy. They go into multiple different pre-releases. I've been to 3 so far, as of recording, and tomorrow morning I will be going to a 4th pre-release just to try and get the cards I need for my decks. And that's sort of killed my enthusiasm for Not for Trade, simply because I have to wait constantly. We've had some products get pushed back 6 months. A big product that I can remember was the Alt Heart Evolution boxes. Those Ultimate Premium boxes, whatever, I can't remember exactly what they're called, but those got pushed back almost 6 months before I can get my hands on some to open them. So ultimately, I don't really want to have to deal with having to wait for product, having to just sporadically buy things to fill in weeks between when product should have been in and then they actually get released. With that being said, I have been pre-recording. I've recorded a few more episodes of Not for Trade at this point. To, I believe it should get me up until after the EUIC, European International Championships, should get me after then, which is only a couple weeks too. So then I should have the Temporal Forces stuff for that. I'd even said in the last recording I did for Not Trade that it will be Temporal Forces because I thought the product would be out by then. But I don't want to just leave the channel with nothing coming out. So my plan is to properly schedule out YouTube Shorts. That is a single pack in each video, hunting for specific cards. Now, a lot of these cards I need for my illustration artist collection, whatever terminology you want to use, but it's basically just alternate arts, and then the trainers galleries, illustrations, special illustrations, and that sort of stuff, and then some master set stuff that I need to finish off, which I can buy, which I'm more comfortable buying now, because as I've been doing this channel, there are more stores doing Pokemon now, and more stores selling singles, so I can get singles easier than just opening everything on camera. And that is another factor that's making me reconsider Not for Trade, because it's probably a bit too expensive. But I do have an idea in mind for a replacement series. Now, when I originally created Not for Trade, I was heavily inspired by Rev's cards, Profit or Forfeit, where he was trying to build a folder to a certain price. If he doesn't make a profit, then he faces off against a random commentator from a video, and then they have a chance to win the folder from him. Now, I'm not going to do that yet like that, because I'm more of a collector at heart. Um, but I understand where that came from. But yeah, that series definitely drove me forward with the idea of Not Betrayed. But the new series that I want to do is basically focusing more on the idea of making a profit from Pokemon. Um, I haven't thought of a proper name for the series yet, um, but it's basically how profitable is Pokemon. And the main idea is I start off with a set amount and I buy like tins, booster boxes, and whatever other products I want, and then sort pseudo flip. Ultimately, I do want to keep the cards, but if I pseudo flip it, then I can keep track of how much pseudo profit I make from everything, and then I can set myself a dollar value that I want to get, so to speak, get to, with a profitable, a, a profit loss style um, series. Now, I I want to say that's all that I want to discuss at this point for the channel. Um, Another thing is the journey to the Pokemon World Championships for 2024. Um, we believe we've been told that there's basically going to be a cutoff, where we are not getting any CP events in Western Australia. I don't know if that's a global thing where basically that's the cutoff, and then any points or any events that take place in that time frame just aren't CP, or they're not CP for this season. So I am cracking down more on competitive Pokemon at this point. And that's one of the main reasons I did pre-record a bunch of Not Betrayed, is to focus more on the competitive stuff. So technically, that series is wrapping up shortly. It's got um, a couple months to go. I do have the one regional championships that I will be participating in coming up soon, so I will discuss that. But there's not much time. I will do that again for the 2025 season, but I know what I want to do instead, and make it a bit easier instead of doing 30 minutes talk to the camera recap style videos. That being said, I do believe now that is everything that I need to discuss in this video. And I guess that's it. Hopefully, I didn't come off as just a bit of a rambler. Hopefully, you do stick around, enjoy the channel a bit more, and hopefully, I do see you again soon. Have a good one, folks.